what the Villages is? It's like they're like somewhere, I believe, like in the upper like left, like the upper left side of Florida. Like,
what does that mean? Are they just like
it's in Sumter County, Florida, which is kind of.
It's near like Tampa, I think, a little bit. It's like on that side. And it's just a massive retirement community. It's the biggest retirement community in the country.
Oh, I see.
Definitely in the world.
Shit,
and there's
it's a city of old people.
I'm gonna
Apple News
who all like hate wearing masks.
Investigative reporting articles about this place to me, and there's it's just so fucking funny. You should really.
Please send it. Please send it. I want to go through that in the show because that's hilarious. Yeah, because the Villages is like what a place. Like that is a very interesting.
Additionally, this link has been sent in my family group chat, so let's keep that in mind. Additionally, yeah,
you did.
But yeah, that looks like terrible. Oh my god, holy crap!
What?
The Villages.
Oh yeah, the Villages.
Article.
God.
It's behind a paper. Do you have Washington Post?
Yeah.
I'll link it.
All right, thank you.
And do you guys remember the video of that Trump retweeted that said "white power" in it?
That was at the Villages.
That was at the Villages.
I remember.
That was at one of the protests at the
White
Villages.
power.
White power.
White power.
Yeah. Oh god.
What power?
What was the excuse that Trump gave for that? Like,
I didn't watch it to the end.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
It was either he didn't watch it to the end or he just didn't hear it. One of the two. I mean, I can kind of believe that because it's like, but like that's such a stupid. Like you're the president, dog. Like, come on.
Yeah, like what motivated you to vote for
NYT,
Trump? I'm curious.
NYT article.
What?
As well.
What motivated you to vote for Trump?
Man, to be honest, well, I'm just more conservative in general. Like far more conservative than.
Was it just like a lesser like? Did you like think Biden? Like, was it like lesser two evils kind of thing, or like was it for like any positive love towards Trump or just
Biden? Like... Well, Biden, I strictly don't like Biden because I already saw how he acted throughout Obama, and he was very pro-war. He was like all that stuff. Like Obama was like crazy with the wars.
Yeah.
That the foreign policy is probably one of my.
Your
then
biggest,
again,
yeah.
I can say that, but Trump hasn't been the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you can't even say that anybody is really good on foreign policy in like elected government.
Yeah, it's really hard to find anyone that's good on foreign policy.
Other than
actually
Bernie,
has the power to do
if that's your.
Well, Bernie,
Bernie
was
pro
domestic, really.
Bernie was pro Venezuela coup. He wanted us to go into Venezuela.
Yeah,
Instead, he wanted us to go into Venezuela.
Bernie, yeah.
I did not know.
No, he said something about like Maduro is a tyrant. Like that. Like that's a.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
probably.
It seems
he voted. Okay, but like in vote, he's anti-war when we vote.
Yeah, in Burlington, Vermont, he was like doing events with the Contras, right? Like the Sandinistas. The Sandinistas. That's the right one.
Sandinistas.
Yeah, he was out there with Sandinistas.
I mean, he voted against the Iraq War
in Burlington. Like that
seems very unlikely.
Yeah, most people I meet when they say like, but if they're conservative, be like, oh, I'm like socially liberal, but it's actually kind of flipped for me. I'm like socially conservative and like pretty okay, like Libby on the economics.
Okay, that's
interesting.
That's all right.
That's why I said like
you seem like
I interact with
more of like a Tulsi maybe.
I fucked with Tulsi so hard.
Yeah,
holy shit.
I fucked with Tulsi so hard, dude.
That's the vibe I got. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Yang, I liked Yang.
All right, guys, it's 1.4.
Yang does have a lot of crossover appeal.
I like Yang. He's just a normal dude.
Yang could easily win the mayor of New York City, but he's just gonna get like the only thing you get in the mayor of New York City is just insulted by everybody. So like
I think Yang,
maybe he could be the only person that can
handle
it.
But I think Yang has interesting economic proposals.
Yeah.
Not even just talking about UBI, but I think Yang does. I think I don't even think they're strictly correct, but I think they're interesting, and I think that they might be concepts that should be utilized in
I just got information that the Trump campaign is spreading disinformation in a text to supporters saying, "Is it true that voting machines stopped working earlier in Georgia today? Are the Dems trying to steal this election?"
Here it goes. If he did it with the first one, he's definitely gonna do it with theirs.
This party, dude. This party is gonna destroy our country.
Yeah, like that is not good in any sense.
It's funny though.
James, he said
why
he's
didn't I
busy
get
right
this text?
now.
What the hell?
Yeah, you're not on the New York Times. You gotta go on the
James
New
is
York Times.
coming?
Yes, he said he's very busy right now, but he's like he says 1 sec. So I don't know. Maybe he'll be on soon. I said when can you join? And well, I don't know. But yeah.
We got 60% of the vote in. Oh my God, it's 50.6 to 49.4. John Ossoff versus David Perdue.
That's tight. And Perdue is just as comically corrupt, but he's a little bit more openly racist, I'd say.
David Perdue.
But that's close. That's close.
Actually, the needle has gone. The needle has shifted back in Ossoff's favor after that data has come in.
0.6. Yeah.
So maybe it's not enough. The gap.
Well, I really think it's going to tighten up much further. Like there's no way it's going to be a plus. There's no way it's going to be more than 1 percentage point margin either way. You know?
No.
Kelly Loeffler, the fact that she gets actually elected because she hasn't even been elected, she's been appointed.
I don't think she won.
She's like Hitler.
Didn't she recently lose? Oh no, Martha McSally was the one who lost the primary.
Yeah. She was put in.
And then that's just dangerous, dude. If they already rejected her, man, come on, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's playing with fire there, and she lost again, so that's very funny. But yeah, it really is insane, how much Trump's just spite politics has hurt the Republicans in this, and at least maybe if they hold on.
He just says such dumb shit. Oh my God, just be quiet. It's like he needs to do what they were doing with Biden in the beginning of the year. Just keep him out of the public. Don't let anyone see him, and everything will be okay.
Yeah. I mean, actually, though, but isn't the best thing that he does he makes all his mistakes talking, but he also makes all his gains because he talks. You know
half this I get. Half of it, half the stuff are hot takes, and half the stuff is just retardation. But negatives are always more. Negatives way more than positives always.
Yeah, you gotta have if you don't have Trump out there being Trump for his base, I feel that takes away a lot. You know,
take away the energy. Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Because they're not the big part of Trump's appeal is his personality. I think most of all, the people that he makes mad.
He could capture that energy without saying things that are outward, actually negative to his campaign.
Yeah. That's the question. How do you stop that?
That's the balance that someone who is like him, who is psychologically as screwed up as he is unable to find. He cannot strike the balance of being able to engage in that kind of offhand manner because he is a narcissist fundamentally. So I really just don't think he can see the impact of his own statements clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it really is it's almost like a Greek curse in a weird way. It's he has the gift of getting appealed through talking, but it also hurts him, and he can't even control it. It's an
interesting person to see in power while I'm coming of age, and this is the example that I have set for me of what politics looks like.
And it's such an important time. Yeah, Ossoff now down to 0.82.
The tightening is beginning.
People say that every election. This is the most important election of our generation.
No, I think this actually is the.
Why is this one so special?
Why is 2020 so different from any other year before it? I could give you a myriad of reasons.
Yeah, it's actually a lot.
Yeah,
please don't say that climate change is going to kill us in 10 years.
It's because of the I think mostly because of the pandemic.
No, it's going to kill.
If we fuck it up in the next 10 years, then it's going to kill us in probably 150 years.
I would sign any Green Deal as long as those other assholes in India, Africa, and China sign it, but they're never going to sign it. They're going to pump so much crap into the air, and then they're just not going to give it one toot.
Okay, we're the one who pulled that. So the first time.
You can't. I don't know. You can't just change. You can't just be change is impossible because parts of the world aren't going to accept it right now, and so we shouldn't accept it either. But nothing is ever going to happen unanimously, ever. Like, ever. Nothing ever. Not even your policy proposals are going to happen unanimously, you know? Like,
I think the United States should lead the way.
The United States needs to lead. If we want to remain influential, which our power is fucking declining thanks to this president and more,
it's better if we
don't.
Lead the way. Also, by the way, that's my take. It's like what? Like, look at where it's gotten us so far.
Don't lead the way.
Like, if we're not as influential, like doing
lead the way in a good way.
Yeah, like, but that's so far off. You know, like, who's gonna be leading us in a good way? Like Joe Biden. You know?
No, I'm pro-green. It's just I hate China. They're a bunch of communists, and they're never going to do anything that's good for the earth. They're going to do anything that helps their dirty communist pocket.
I don't know, dude, because once the United States makes a transition away from a consumable energy resource, don't you think China is going to feel a little compromised because all of their fuel comes from something that's going to run out when America's is essentially unlimited? Don't you think that they would maybe have a little incentive to adopt green technologies?
If there was that incentive, you would see them starting to look into it, but you just don't see that at all.
Because we're not competing with them about it. We're doing the same.
Do you really think that Europe and America are very green compared to the rest of the world? Yes, very.
I think China's like transitioning from coal to natural gas.
We're not adopting it in a way that is meaningfully affecting our core energy structure, that's what the Green New Deal seeks to change. We need to literally stop using fossil fuels completely. We still rely on them hugely. China relies on them hugely, but if we shift over, then China's going to be like, well, fuck, we're using the worst system. We're using the system that's not renewable, and that fucks up our local atmosphere. Like, China doesn't like being polluted.
Okay, but first of all, like,
China's like, I think China's like behind us from going from like coal to natural gas, right? Like, they're in the process of going from coal to natural gas now, and we're going from natural gas to like we're still on natural gas, really. But like, they are a little bit behind us.
China is literally behind us in economic evolution. Their industrialization started much later than ours,
and it's still going incredibly fast, which is insane.
Oh my god, Purdue just overtook. Oh, chill the fuck out.
61% Purdue just overtook.
Right,
okay, win probability though. Ossoff is still 59% because Savannah, baby, has not come in.
Savannah. Oh no.
And apparently the 6th congressional district in northern Atlanta is what we want to watch. The 6th congressional district.
6th. Is that another election that's going on right now?
No, that is that's a bellwether district. That's what's
it looking like right now? Do we know?
That is the county's. It's represented by Democrat Lucy McBath. It's an R+8, so it's kind of like a swing district. She's been in there, I think, since 2018. But it seems like Marietta, Sandy Springs, Roswell are some of the cities in it. Alpharetta.
Oh boy!
So if we can take a look at that, but get the map up there. But yeah, like, this is like, if really probably one of the most impressive things, and this is kind of like the model of it. Like, this is really kind of the headspace where Democrats should be thinking. Is like Stacey Abrams' principles of like organizing, actually like going on the ground and organizing the state has paid off bigger than anybody else in like 2020. And I don't think the Democrats are going to learn that lesson from Stacey Abrams. Like, I don't think they're going to be like, oh, now we got to go really expand like our on the ground, like organizing, like talking to communities, especially our communities, and like making sure they have what they need in order to like go out and turn out and vote in every election, like the way the Democrats do or the Republicans do. Like, that's such an effective thing that she's done. But I don't know if the Democrats are in that same headspace.
Donnie just said, "Stop the count, stop the count." After
stop the count.
David Perdue is leading now. So yeah,
it's funny. Didn't Destiny do a bunch of canvassing in Georgia?
He did. Yeah. John Ops is back on top. He's back on top.
Nice.
He's back on.
Yeah, it's gonna go back and forth.
It's 50-50 now, holy shit.
The Republican stronghold of North Georgia, which had not come in previously, is now coming in force. So we're going to see that number change around a little bit. But it looks like Atlanta area has stayed. I actually feel good, dude. I feel fucking good. Atlanta area has
I'm getting good feeling.
Not reporting like shit, and the Republican areas are exhausting their votes.
Gwinnett County only 31% in, baby. That's going to be a northern suburb. That's going to That's going to be very critical.
Good wine.
Northern Atlanta suburb.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm